About 2 years ago, I had a classmate who unfortunately had passed away. He had gotten addicted to painkiller medications that he needed to take for a sports related injury that he had suffered. And it makes me worry about me someday needing painkiller drugs. I know for myself that I have a very low tolerance for pain related issues because I've had situations that weren't physically painful actually. They were emotionally painful, but it gave me physical pain for some reason. And to give you an idea, the most I've ever hurt myself was probably on my bicycle. I used to ride throughout the campus when I was working on my PhD. One time I had misjudged the terrain of the hill as we were leaving campus, and I still made it to the grocery store, got some groceries. I made it to the bank to get some rolls of coins. I used to like to search rolls of coins, and it wasn't until I got back to my office that I realized that my knees were bleeding so badly that my pants were just covered with blood. And for some reason, that didn't feel so bad. What really causes me pain, as in real physical pain, is when I have emotional problems. When I was working on my PhD, I had gotten taken advantage of by a girl, and I had to break up with her. And that breakup was so painful, to the point that I was getting chest pains almost daily, if I remember correctly. And what really helped me get over that pain was to realize that I could do a lot of the things I wanted to do with that girl alone. I had dreams of going on vacation with that girl. I had dreams of going to events just locally with that girl. And I ended up doing all of those things by myself, and I actually enjoyed doing those things. And that's what really helped me get over that pain. I still I've never been really attached to anybody that I've broken up with. It's just that the unexpected nature of the breakup. See, you don't plan a breakup 3 weeks in advance, right? The very unexpected nature of it. The unexpected nature of having to do social distancing right now, although it's a blessing in disguise because I'm not taking the risk of getting into a car accident, getting into workplace violence issues. Sometimes people actually do get hurt in the workplace. I don't work with dangerous equipment, but just being around other people carries its own risk, right? I'm trying to enjoy the couple of weeks of reduced risk of injury now that I have it, right? It's really nice. That's kind of a blessing in disguise. When I was in college, I had misplaced some money that I had saved. You see, my parents used to have a little bit of a bias. They didn't want me hanging around a group of friends. You got to remember, this was shortly after the Cold War. There was still a lot of bias. When I would get my allowance, I would squirrel away a few bucks because I wanted to hang out with some people during the spring break during summer, and I misplaced the money. I think what happened was, I didn't misplace it. What happened was my parents were doing laundry and they assumed the money was something else, and I couldn't tell them because I knew they didn't approve of what I wanted to do with the money. And I felt so painful. I remember getting chest pain over it when I first found out I had misplaced the money. I mean, and it just makes me realize that my threshold for pain is just non-existent. One car accident and I'm out of it. Although it's kind of weird when I think back to that one bicycle accident that I was in. But long story short, I don't know. I don't know what would have happened if I had taken painkillers for any of those. I don't know if the emotional pain, if it would have worked for those. I probably just would have gotten addicted to the painkillers. So in a way, I do get addicted to all sorts of painkillers that I use. For example, when I was in pain about that breakup, I spent a lot of time by myself and taking long distance walks, writing computer games, binge eating. All of those became addictions at some point or another. So it makes me worried if I someday have to take morphine or something like that. That would definitely not be a good idea. So I'm really enjoying these last few weeks where I'm having a reduced risk because of all the social distancing and just being a little bit safer, not just in terms of catching the virus, but in terms of getting into an injury situation. Thanks for watching.